5376. That's 1-800-217-5376.
7,000 high school students drop out every school day. If you stack their desks one atop the other, it's a pile more than 17,000 feet high. That's 12 Empire State Buildings. But what's truly scary is that another stack is going up tomorrow. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
When buying or selling a home, always be sure to use a local realtor who has the knowledge and experience to help you get the most market. Properly pricing your home is vitally important. Realtors value properties every day. They understand how best to show a home and can help enhance the saleability and sale price of your home. This message is brought to you by the over 19,000 realtor members in Massachusetts. Contact a local realtor today, and good luck in the search for your perfect home. Good afternoon. This is Jim Lowenstern. This is the Jim Lowenstern Radio Talk Show. We have a very unusual show today, one that you would definitely want to stay tuned for. It's a rare opportunity that we have this afternoon to explore the process of the sale and purchase of residential property. And I say residential because commercial brokers are usually dealing with buyers and sellers who are just business-minded, and therefore there's less emotion in the equation. In commercial deals, it's basically square footage, ceiling heights, spans, location, condition, lease terms, tenant mix. In other words, it's all about business. So my guests today, and they're going to be just opening up all about their past experiences and current deals, hopefully during the next hour. We have Stacy Kapolka from Kinlan Grover down in Falmouth. Hello, Stacy.
Hello, Jim.
And we have Mary Beth Boisvert. Did I get that right?
You did.
Great. Coldwell Banker in Shrewsbury. Hello, Mary Beth. Welcome.
Hi, Jim.
We have Robert DeMarco. He's a past guest. He's with Walker and DeMarco, attorneys at law. Hello, Robert. Welcome back.
Jim. Hello, Jim.
And we have the best mortgage broker in Massachusetts, perhaps the whole world, Craig Tanney.
Thank you, Jim. The world.
The world. Not the universe, though. You're still working on the universe.
Yeah, they have to deed things out in the universe in order to get us out there.
Mortgage Equity Partners in Newton, Massachusetts. We're broadcasting from Boston, if you're listening to us on the Internet. But I believe just about everything we're going to discuss today can be applied to other parts of the globe. So, in the residential sales process, it's all about the neighborhood, parks for the dog to run. In Massachusetts, is AMCAS scores for the elementary schools, distance to public transportation, commuting distance, road noise, curb appeal, styles of architecture, finished basements versus unfinished versus slab, gas heat versus oil heat, window or wall air conditioners versus central or even no air, and so on. I could go all day about the items that residential buyers come to brokers with when they're deciding to buy a home. A commercial broker deals with business people and business decisions. Demographics of the population in order to provide the goods and services, basically to make a buck. A residential broker deals with a world of total chaos. Just my opinion. It's a world of a million moving parts. And, oh, by the way, usually 7 days a week. So while the commercial broker is like an attorney, right, Robert? Little laughter. And clocks out at 5 on Fridays, that's when the residential broker starts to work after a week of already working 9 to 5. or in my case, 3 o'clock in the morning. Doesn't sound appealing, but that's the fact. A residential broker is a psychiatrist more than anything. They need to take everything that's thrown at them and make sense out of it for everyone, the buyer, the seller, the other broker, the attorneys, and the mortgage broker. Anybody have any thoughts on that?
You are right. You are right.
And that's why today's show is so unique. We have 2 brokers with us in the studio. I'm going to disqualify myself for a while, plus an attorney, plus a mortgage broker. So this is sort of a hypothetical situation, and perhaps several, as we play this show out, we can have all of the guests, all my 4 guests, talk about their easiest sales, their most difficult sales, even their most insane sales, and what it takes along the way to keep not just the sales process moving smoothly, but how they manage to keep their sanity while doing the impossible. Bridging the gap between buyer offers, seller sales request, we'll say, list prices, seller offers, rigid attorneys. Sorry, Robert. I'm going to apologize to you a lot today. And new mortgage underwriting guidelines where buyers need a lot of things these days. Jobs. Yep, they need jobs now. They need good credit. Yep, something new. And yes, they need a down payment as well. All of those things to buy a house. Imagine how times have changed. So, in our hypothetical scenario, we will have me play the seller, intent on selling his property for more than it's worth. We'll have a wheeler-dealer buyer who likes the house. I can play that too. And we can have our guest attorney play both buyer and seller's attorney. And, of course, we will have our mortgage broker. We're going to do a lot of this after the commercial break. But before we go to the break, just want to mention, and I love the Internet, I actually learned how to put up on my website, JimLowenstern.com, a new blog with WordPress. My BU intern is off for the week, and I usually have a property of the week. And it took me 5 minutes. It was great. So easy. So if you go to JimLowenstern.com, you can actually see the pictures and click through and see virtual tours, all that stuff. It's a new listing in Chestnut Hill, Brookline, a 10-room, 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath townhouse with a 25-foot soaring ceiling in the living room that has a wood-burning fireplace and oak floors. The living room, not the ceiling, that is. The master bedroom has a bath with a stall shower, jacuzzi, and a bidet. There's a fenced yard, off-street parking, and a garage. It's in the Heath School District, and with a low condo fee, it's priced extremely well for Brookline at only $10 million. No, I'm kidding. It's $749,000. The address is 1 Benjamin Place. It's my listing. I'm going to remind you, I'm Jim Lowenstern. My company is Castles Unlimited in Newton. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about my house. I'll be the seller. It's a converted antique. I put my whole life into it, my heart and soul. And we're going to have Mary Beth listed. She's going to be my listing broker. And Stacy's going to be the buyer's broker. And we're going to have some fun with this. So we'll come back after the break. This is Jim Lowenstern. You're on WWZN, 1510 AM, revolutionboston.com.
You look and you look through neighborhood after neighborhood. You go up and down streets, into cul-de-sacs, and around every bend. Then one day you slowly pull up and finally see it. Your house. At Wells Fargo, we're with you when you're ready to find the house. In fact, we're with you in every stage of home ownership, from planning to purchasing to well after you own your home. Our free preferred payment plan service is a great example. You can automatically tie your payment schedule to your paydays. It's convenient and completely free. The program may even help you pay off your mortgage faster. Let us help you find the mortgage that fits your needs. Talk with a Wells Fargo home mortgage consultant today. We're ready to help and answer all your mortgage questions. Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far. Wells Fargo Home Mortgage is a division of Wells Fargo Bank N.A., equal housing lender.
For more information, please contact your local Wells Fargo home mortgage consultant, Jason Bonarigo, at 617-363-4617.
Craig Tanny is a full-service mortgage broker lender serving Greater Boston for the last 20 years. In 2009, Craig and his partners started Mortgage Equity Partners. MEP is a boutique home loan origination company that seeks out the most aggressive lenders for home mortgages and can offer the most competitive rates available in the market today. Call Craig directly for a personal consultation at 781-309-1805. Mortgage loan origination number 142580 and NMLS 1936.
When you are searching for a new home, you want to be working with a realtor with years of experience, a professional with intimate knowledge of the communities that you are considering moving to, and someone who really wants to represent you as a buyer in what is probably the largest investment you'll ever make in your lifetime. Please visit us at castlesunlimited.com or call us anytime at 800-967-3561. Start your search anytime 24/7 at castlesunlimited.com, and a Castles Unlimited Realtor will get back to you just as fast as possible. Castles Unlimited Realtors, expert advice and quick, informative information on all the listings, not only your local market, but information on properties for sale or rent anywhere in the world. Your Castles Unlimited Realtor is always there to help you with your next move, your next purchase, your next home, or commercial property sale. CastlesUnlimited.com and 800-967-3561. Find your way home with your favorite Castles Unlimited Realtor.
Okay, we're back. It's the Jim Lowenstern Radio Talk Show. So just put a timestamp. We're actually in the studio on the 14th of March, 2012. It's going to air on this coming Sunday. And the last time I looked, we have a stock market roaring past 13,000 on the Dow. Looks like Mitt Romney is ready to drop out of the Republican race. Sorry, Mitt. Just kidding, of course. The Bachelor from the television, he's still a bachelor. And Sarah Palin wants to debate our president. And I want to debate Sarah. So I'm going to offer to Sarah, because I'm sure she's listening, because I doubt she'll get a response from the president, but she can debate me. She can come into the studio next Sunday, and I'll do it live. I promise you that. Okay, so Mary Beth, I am selling my house, and I give you a call because I saw you advertising on the internet a property for $1.4 million, and I think my house is worth about $1.4 million. In reality, I'm going to tell you it's worth about $900,000, but I want $1.4 million. So when you come to my house, what are you going to do?
Well, we're going to sit down first and we're going to talk. I'm thrilled that you have found me, and I do think I'm the right person for the job. I do have some questions, though. I always like to start out my presentation by just talking about what the ultimate goal here is, and it's to create a win-win. So I know that you have a value placed on your home, and that would be a win if we could get it for you. Now we have to match you up with a buyer who's going to give you the price that you would like.
Okay. All right. And how are we going to do that? Because I want $1.4 million.
Okay. Well, I would love to be able to create the market that I work in, but unfortunately I don't. So your house, how did you establish the value
And
of
I
your
got
house?
to tell you, I have all the time in the world. I'm in no rush.
So So what's your motivation? Tell me about why you're looking to sell your home.
Because I need $1.4 million.
Got it. Okay. Well, again,
As I said, it's a difficult seller. You know, this could be on for 1,000 days. What do you think about 1,000-day listings?
well, I think that our market is it's price driven. So the longer the house sits on the market, the chances are the lower price you're going to get in the end. That's been my experience.
Okay. All right. So you mean holding firm to a price?
Well, I think being realistic about the price and having it rooted in data is important. And remember, when I go to sell your home, I have to sell it to 3 different people. I have to sell it to the other agents that I'm going to be working with. We've got to sell it to a potential buyer. And then we've got to sell it to the bank. So if there's financing involved, the bank has to be willing to loan money based on the final price. So it's there's a lot of moving parts in this market. So you need to be aware of that.
What if we can get a cash buyer?
That would be great.
Then I can get my price.
Well, again, win-win. My job is to give you the facts, and
it's such a unique property. How are you going to how are you going to find comps for it? There's nothing like this in the whole town.
Yeah.
It's antique, but it's been completely restored with all modern amenities, like totally gutted. So it looks like an older home, but it's totally new at the same time. It has charm, and it's unique.
Well, that's a great position to be in because you have the old and the new, and you've done it. It sounds like you've done it in a great way. Again, I'd like to take the opportunity to look for the comps myself and, compare it square footage wise, amenity wise, location wise. And while I respectfully understand the price that you're looking to get, in the end, we're going to have to see where the buyers feel the price is. So I'll work hard for you, but we have to be realistic about what the market's going to yield.
Okay. So in the end, will you take my 1.4 for the listing?
Well, I would like to do my own research. I know that you think it's worth $1.4 million, and it may well be. I just need to spend some time understanding what I think the value is, and I'd like to come back and meet with you and give you the information that I've found so that we can come up with what we think is a realistic price.
Okay. So now we're going to say this is hypothetical. You go back and you find it's worth $900.
Yep.
Or in this declining market, let's say it was worth $1.1 million. But it's going to be on for a long time. It's going to be on for 3 years practically. So the price didn't go up. The price sort of went down a little bit. So we're going to say, eventually you said, it's so unique, we'll list it for $1.4 million, even though I can't find real firm data that'll bring it to $1.4 million. And Stacy, I'm going to be your buyer. I want to offer $900 for it.
Okay. Thanks, Jim. I'm happy.
and I'm willing to wait until the price comes down. So how are you going to present that offer to Mary Beth? Because it's worth a little more than $9, but it's not worth $1.4 million.
Okay, so first,
remember the insanity,
yes.
getting the insane valuation and the insane request from the buyer, and Craig and Robert, you can chime in anytime you want as well.
All right. Well, hi, Mary Beth. This is Stacy Klapolka calling with Kinlan Grover Real Estate. How you doing today?
Good, Stacy. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good.
Thanks again for showing 123 Main Street to me and my clients. The client has some very serious interest and is prepared to make an offer on the property for you to submit to your seller. But I'm having a very hard time with the list price versus the comparables in the neighborhood and in the town. While we do understand, what you were stating at the house, that it's an antique property, it's unique, it's been all renovated and different, and it's updated, and we can appreciate that, and that's what is driving my clients to want to make an offer. They, based on the information that I've shared with them, they're not comfortable offering the list price or anywhere near the list price of 1.4. So, I need some help here. Can you help get? I mean, we're worlds apart, And, I am going to be meeting with them today to write up an offer. And I'd like to let them know that we've spoken before and, see if you have anything that you can share with me to help me, get them to come up from where they are, ultimately thinking of where they'd want to end up buying the property for.
Okay. I'm thrilled. This is great. We want to sell, you want to buy. Tell me about your buyer's motivation.
Well, they don't have to buy. This is not, it's not a necessity. But they do love the house and they love the area. And ultimately, they would like to make this location their primary residence. Mm-hmm. But for the time being, it's not. And they do have an interest in antique homes. In fact, my buyer's wife grew up in an antique home as a child that was very similar to the one that, you're marketing. So mm-hmm. there is, there's a little bit of nostalgia going along with their mm-hmm. purchase decision. So mm-hmm. their thought is, if they can purchase the house at a price that is a fair market value, that they'd be willing to make that decision today because of, the future and the memories that it does bring back to my clients.
Tell me about their financial situation. Do they need to? Do they need a mortgage? Are they cash buyers? What's their?
I can buy cash.
Oh,
okay.
Okay, so we have a cash buyer. That's
yes,
great.
We have a cash buyer, and I can, certainly.
I want a mortgage, but I can buy it cash, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they are prepared to pay cash, and I can certainly show you proof of funds if that is something that your seller would like to see mm-hmm. when the time comes. But they can pay cash, but they also could get a mortgage as well. So it's not.
I'm willing to pay over assessed value too.
And the assessment is $930.
No, it's $840.
$840.
But properties in that town do sell for over assessment. But still,
Jim, as your attorney, I have a couple of questions for you before you to sign an offer.
Sure.
We're missing somebody at the table. Have you talked to your CPA concerning the tax implications of the sale, seeing as we're well above that primary residence exemption?
I made a lot of money last year. I definitely have to buy. He told me I should go out and get a great house for myself.
What are you going to do about the taxes that you're going to be owing on the sale anyway? Because you only allowed to exclude first 500 of growth.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was the buyer there. Now I'm the seller?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I put so much money into the house, and I'm married, so actually we'd still fall under the $500,000.
Okay, so we have the receipts, and your accountant has tallied that up for you.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just want to make sure before we go creating a tax problem.
Not a problem. No, I'm ready to sell it.
Well, so, Mr. Seller,
yes.
I'd like to chat with you.
Yes.
I have some great news.
That's fantastic.
We have an offer on your property. I know the house has been on the market for 2 years, but
almost 3.
Almost 3.
1,000 days.
1,000 days, and I have really enjoyed our relationship.
It's been great.
We've spent a lot of time together. We've had a lot of chats, and so you know that my job and my goal is always to make you feel like you're in a win position. And I know that your motivation in the beginning was you weren't really interested in selling, but we've stuck with this for 1,000 days.
Well, we've dropped the price quite a bit. We're down to $9.75 now. And
you know what? We are very, very close to what I think the buyer that's come forward is willing to pay on your property.
But the last time you told me to drop my price, you said you could get me that price, or who knows, maybe even over that price.
Well, as I told you when we first met, if I could create this market, I'd be a very wealthy woman, but I do not create it. I have represented your home, I feel, in the best light possible, and I think you have a great property. But I think at this point we really need to become realistic about what we have out there for a buyer's pool. And we have this buyer who has just the perfect storm. She loves antiques, but she doesn't want to deal with the old, yicky aspects of antiques, so she's excited about buying.
And what are they offering?
Well, they're a cash buyer, and
yeah, but everyone brings cash to the table.
The offer is $850.
Ooh,
So we have an offer for $850, cash buyer. Can close in 30 days.
Why didn't you tell me I really should have taken that offer for $1 million?
Well, remember, that was an offer that came in. It wasn't ever written. It was verbal. It was from a neighbor's brother who thought maybe they could, do some wheeling and dealing. So I think that this is as close to a real buyer as we're going to find. And
Okay, so the offer is written?
The offer's written. There is no mortgage contingency. It's a cash offer, which is fantastic because at this point I would be concerned about the home appraising out. Again, they can close in 30 days or they can close in 90 days. They're very flexible. So they're really doing a lot of positive things that I think are things that you've been looking for all along. So after this 1,000-day relationship that we've had and all of the people that have come and gone, the 200 showings that we've had, and the 17 broker open houses and public open houses, I think we're at a point now where we really may want to consider this to be a very serious offer.
Okay. Well, we'll go back and tell them I'll take $950.
$950.
It's still a good deal.
Okay. Well, you know what?
That's what, $450,000 less than.
Well, then
I'm losing $450,000.
Well, we started at that price because that's what you felt the value of the home was, but clearly the market doesn't see it that way. So here we are. We're about $100,000 and change off. Let me call the buyer's agent and see what she might think about the situation.
Okay. I'm not going to take a penny less, though.
Okay, I got it.
So the buyers are going to need a mortgage now that we're going up to $950.
I can get it. I want a mortgage, but I don't need one.
Let me point out just some of the due diligence that a lender would have in appraising a house and qualifying a buyer for. We're going to appraise a property based on current sales. The current sales are going to take place in the last 6 months, preferably the last few months. But in a declining market, they want really close sales. In a regular market, they can go back as much as a year. So the value of the property from a banking perspective is going to be exactly what people are paying for properties as close to this one as possible that have just sold. And your $950 or $1.4 million sale, if they're going to get a mortgage and they're going to bump up to any of these loan to value requirements.
As a buyer, I'd put down at least $300,000.
$300,000. So that's a good down payment. You would be required to put 20% down, up to $1 million in mortgage money, and if it's less than that, you can put down 15%, and we can provide mortgage financing. What it means is the house would have to appraise, and you'd have to show that necessary equity in order to get your full funding on your mortgage. So
if it appraised for $850,
we'd provide financing for 85% of the appraised value.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, no problem. No problem. Except that there's $100,000 between the offers. What do we do?
Well, Mr. Seller of 1,000 Days, I've chatted with the buyer's agent, and they're going to stand firm, I believe, at their price. I have two suggestions that we might want to consider.
Yeah.
One would be to get an appraiser in, get a third opinion of value, maybe split the cost between the buyer and seller, and get somebody in here that's really going to give us.
Who's going to pay for the appraiser? Are you?
You know what? I think that would be fair to assume that the agents may be willing to do that in this situation. We've known each other for a long time, and I think that we've obviously I have an investment in this property. So in order to, if you are willing to accept what the appraisal number comes in at, I would be very willing to underwrite the cost of that.
Okay, I'm going to be Jim for a moment. Have you ever done that?
A couple times.
Really?
Yes. Or what I've done before is if there's a discrepancy, I've said to the seller, I'll make a deal with you. Get the property appraised, and I will reimburse you for the cost of the appraisal at closing when it sells for the recommended price that the appraisal has suggested. And that's usually, I've never split it with another agent, but I've done it with,
when it was your listing.
when it was my listings with the sellers.
Very nice. Because certified appraisals can be hundreds of dollars.
They can.
They can
But I
be.
think it's worth it to pull the deal together.
Yeah, after 1,000 days.
Right after 1,000. The other question I have, and I know that this may run into like sort of a mortgaging thing, but I've had a situation recently where the value of some of the real property in the home. The buyers were interested in buying some of the pieces of the antique furnishings, so we were able to sort of pull that out and get the buyer what they wanted by using the vehicle of real property. So let's say the buyer's willing to give you $840, we're $100 off. Maybe we can justify $75,000 worth of antiques that we could do a bill of sale privately on the side. Am I going into muddy water here with mortgaging?
Yeah, from the mortgage perspective,
if it's on the side.
If it's not part of if it's an addendum to the purchase and sale agreement, it's going to need to be seen by the bank. If it's not going to be seen or highlighted in any way regarding the financing. So it just depends how that would be handled.
It would be on the side.
Yeah.
And from the legal perspective, while as a buyer or a seller's attorney, I wouldn't have a problem. If I was sitting with dual hats and representing the bank, I'm going to have significant issues as the bank's attorney and the buyer's attorney getting involved in that kind of deal, because the bank doesn't want to have any involvement, and it in fact, for them to know would be an issue. So
even if it's personal property, why should it make a difference? It's not the real estate.
There'll be questions from the bank's perspective as to from an attorney for the bank's perspective as to how you got that value out of the property, where that value comes from, if it's really appraised at that much, or if it's just a number that's arbitrarily thrown on the wall in order to make up the difference.
I see.
So I think that those are issues you're going to have to address.
But this is a tough buyer. I'm sure they're not going to pay more than $75,000 for antiques that are worth far less. So all they need is an appraisal, I guess, to satisfy. If you were wearing both hats.
You can go to a place like Saperstein, who's going to do both the appraisal of the personal property as well as the appraisal of the real estate. If he gets you the numbers and you're on target, then the buyer and seller can work those things out individually.
Okay. So, did we have a deal?
Well, I would hope so.
How close are we?
The house is getting appraised.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So
let's say the appraisal comes in at the offered price, $850. And now you have to go back to the seller and say, I know you wanted $1.4 million. You never got an offer over $1 million, and that was sketchy. And now we have a cash offer. It's above assessment, and it's at appraised value.
Mm-hmm. I think Mr. Seller, I think we're in a great position. I know that you're, disappointed because in the beginning you had a sense of what you thought the market was, but I think that we have gotten to a point where we have a ready, willing, and able buyer who can buy your home for a price that we've verified that number in many different ways. So the ball's in your court. It is your home. So
well, if I take the $850, and I know you've worked long and hard on this, Mary Beth, but I really can't see that I should be the only one who takes a hit here. I'm almost $550,000 less than what I was asking.
Right.
You're going to take less of a commission?
No, I'm not actually. I have worked for over 1,000 days. We have gotten to be very good friends, and I have worked very hard. So I guess what I would respectfully ask you to recognize is just as you go to work and get your paycheck at the end of the week, I too expect to get paid for a job well done, and I hope you will agree that I've stuck with you and I've worked hard in your best interest. And
well, actually, I want you to get your commission. It's the buyer's broker. Shouldn't the buyer?
Oh, you want her to cut her commission?
Shouldn't the buyer pay her commission?
Well, does not happen in our market. With all due respect, I can't imagine that she'd be willing to do that. But as your agent, it's my job to pass any of your wishes on. So I'd be happy to ask her.
I'd like for you to talk to her about that.
Let me call Stacy.
2.5% of $850. That's a lot of money.
Sure. Well, let me give her a call.
It'll pay my attorney's fees.
Right.
Maybe
those exorbitant attorney's fees. So, hi, Stacy. It's Mary Beth Boisvert. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you today, Mary Beth?
Good. I am so excited. I think we may have pulled this together. You know that I've had this property on the market for over 1,000 days, and I think we finally got a great buyer to come forward, and I'm excited. And I am I'm required, of course, to come to you with any of my seller's requests. So here's a request that he has come up with. He would like for you to consider taking no commission. He feels that you're working with the buyer and that maybe the buyer should pay your commission. He's going to pay my commission.
Oh my gosh, Mary Beth.
I know.
You've got to be kidding, really?
I know.
I know this is just one of those phone calls that is so uncomfortable to make, but you have to make them. And, but, putting all joking aside here, I have a buyer contract with my client. And in actuality, we've been looking at other properties that have been offering 3% co-broke fees, and in some instances even 3.5% in this market. And, so this is a real big jump from where we were. And, I'm willing to take the cooperating fee that's being offered, but no less. Mm-hmm. And, understand that, you have a tough position, and while I don't want my clients to necessarily lose the property here because they're getting it for the price that they should be getting it for. I mean, the appraisal spoke for itself. I was willing to share that, and I'm just not going to share anything else here. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I think I would do exactly what you're doing, and I understand. And let me pass that on to my wonderful seller, who's really excited to get your buyer to move in 30 days.
Okay, you guys are doing great. I don't want to take this to the point where we're beating it to death. But
we've all been there.
The point is that happens.
It happens all the time.
But this is exactly what we go through day in and day out
on every deal.
So we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, I have more questions for my guests. And this is the Jim Lowenstern Radio Show. And hang in there. We'll be right back.
When you are looking to buy or sell real estate and you are looking for the right realtor to do business with, NewEnglandProsperity.org is a nationwide network of carefully selected brokers who are willing to give both you and your favorite charity a large portion of their commission. These brokers are only too happy to donate to a charity and to credit you back money to help with things such as your mortgage closing costs, title insurance, moving expenses, and more. When you're starting to look for a realtor first, go to NewEnglandProsperity.org and sign up. You'll be referred to a broker who will have your interests first and who will also credit you and donate to charity. Look them up at NewEnglandProsperity.org, and when you sign up on their website, you can expect a top broker to return to you with the call to begin discussing the next steps in your selling or buying process. NewEnglandProsperity.org brokers make it easy to buy and sell real estate, and they make it easy for you to pay for your closing costs because they pitch in with a piece of their commission and they make charitable contributions. For all of the information, just go to NewEnglandProsperity.org. We are changing the way America buys and sells real estate.
Castles Magazine, an in-print and online magazine and database of exceptional properties, is available to you 24/7 at castlesmag.com. Considered by Google to be the online authority of luxury real estate, castlesmag.com is the best way to search for properties anywhere in the world when you are looking for your dream home, and the best realtors to help you with your search. Castles Magazine and castlesmag.com. One in print and one online, and always at your service. Not just opening doors, opening the doors that you dream of.
You look and you look through neighborhood after neighborhood. You go up and down streets, into cul-de-sacs, and around every bend. Then one day you slowly pull up and finally see it. Your house. At Wells Fargo, we're with you when you're ready to find the house. In fact, we're with you in every stage of home ownership, from planning to purchasing to well after you own your home. Our free preferred payment plan service is a great example. You can automatically tie your payment schedule to your paydays. It's convenient and completely free. The program may even help you pay off your mortgage faster. Let us help you find the mortgage that fits your needs. Talk with a Wells Fargo home mortgage consultant today. We're ready to help and answer all your mortgage questions. Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far. Wells Fargo Home Mortgage is a division of Wells Fargo Bank N.A., equal housing lender.
For more information, please contact your local Wells Fargo home mortgage consultant, Jason Bonarigo, at 617-363-4617.
All right, we're back. It's Jim Lowenstern. This is my radio show. Going to ask my guest, Robert DeMarco, a question about one of his let's say, transactions that's happening right now. Robert, you have something going on, a development on the Cape, and there's affordable housing in it, and I guess there's some challenges that are coming up.
Yes.
What town's it in? Can you say?
I'd rather not say because we still are in the middle of some significant negotiations.
Yep.
But you've got the affordable issue that's cropped up, and it's something that's affecting a lot of nowadays when they go to put in these new developments. When they go for the 40B, which has been a topic on the news quite extensively in the past year, you're looking at losing money on those units, point blank. So the developers are in a pinch. They're in a pinch because they have to do the 40B. They have to get those sold. They're going to be losing money, sometimes coming to the table with money. And at the same time, the lotteries are forcing the sale.
Pardon me for interrupting. Is it that the current pricing has brought the market value units down to almost what the 40Bs were priced at?
In some instances, yes. But what's really in this particular instance, and what the challenge is here, is that the price that the 40B is charging is actually less than the construction costs.
Right.
You're talking about a bank financing the construction of a house for a developer, and the developer having to show up at the table in order to meet the bank's minimum repayment on the loan of that lot for the release. So you know, if a developer turns around and expects that he's going to be able to live off of a paycheck, he's going to be putting salt and money aside to close on those first units. And with the market the way it is, the 40Bs may sell way before any of the regular priced houses. So he may be out of pocket 2, 3, 4 different closings before he even starts to see any money come back to him.
Are the banks a little flexible in this situation?
We have been very, very lucky in this one. The bank has actually come to the table and said that they would allow release of the first unit out without any repayment of the loan.
Nice. So they are making allowances now.
If it's a local bank and it's a good bank, and there are some really, really good locals that are out there trying to get the market restarted. The problem in this particular situation is the homeowners association also has to be approved by the title insurance company. You've got the affordable units that are going to have to be kept at the exact same level as the regular priced, and the upkeep of those units concerning the common area maintenance has to be dealt with in a way that doesn't affect the affordability.
Okay, great answer. Stacy.
Yes, Jim.
Question for you. Good Morning America, that morning talk show, has rated your area, Cape Cod, as number 3 on their list of most beautiful places in America.
Yes, they did.
So, you're in Falmouth. What would you say about the Cape as a place to live year-round?
There's certainly some towns that offer more year-round than others. I think that Falmouth is perhaps one of them, as well as Hyannis. They seem to be the largest. Hyannis is a larger area, but then there are a lot of other towns on the Cape that do offer year-round living, but are they going to offer year-round work and employment that's steady for people that do live there and that don't just live there because they're retired?
Okay. So Falmouth is unique. Hyannis is unique. What other towns would you think?
Barnstable.
Barnstable. Okay.
As you get to the lower Cape, those towns tend to really get more quiet as
like Wellfleet, Eastham, Provincetown.
Yes,
yeah. Okay.
But they all still have a year-round climate. That's the big difference in the Cape now, as opposed to 10 years ago, or even there's more and more stuff going on there year-round.
Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna go to break, and then we'll have a few more questions in our last segment, and. You're listening to WWZN. It's 1510 a.m. It's Jim Lowenstern. You can also listen to previous shows at jimlowenstern.com anytime, 24/7. We'll be right back.
neighborhood after neighborhood. You go up and down streets, into cul-de-sacs, and around every bend. Then one day you slowly pull up and finally see it. Your house. At Wells Fargo, we're with you when you're ready to find the house. In fact, we're with you in every stage of home ownership, from planning to purchasing to well after you own your home. Our free preferred payment plan service is a great example. You can automatically tie your payment schedule to your paydays. It's convenient and completely free. The program may even help you pay off your mortgage faster. Let us help you find the mortgage that fits your needs. Talk with a Wells Fargo home mortgage consultant today. We're ready to help and answer all your mortgage questions. Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far. Wells Fargo Home Mortgage is a division of Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., equal housing lender.
For more information, please contact your local Wells Fargo home mortgage consultant, Jason Bonarigo, at 617-363-4617.
Castles Magazine, an in-print and online magazine and database of exceptional properties, is available to you 24/7 at castlesmag.com. Considered by Google to be the online authority of luxury real estate, castlesmag.com is the best way to search for properties anywhere in the world when you are looking for your dream home, and the best realtors to help you with your search. Castles Magazine and castlesmag.com. One in print and one online, and always at your service. Not just opening doors, opening the doors that you dream of.
When you are looking to buy or sell real estate and you are looking for the right realtor to do business with, NewEnglandProsperity.org is a nationwide network of carefully selected brokers who are willing to give both you and your favorite charity a large portion of their commission. These brokers are only too happy to donate to a charity and to credit you back money to help with things such as your mortgage closing costs, title insurance, moving expenses, and more. When you're starting to look for a realtor first, go to NewEnglandProsperity.org and sign up. You'll be referred to a broker who will have your interests first and who will also credit you and donate to charity. Look them up at NewEnglandProsperity.org, and when you sign up on their website, you can expect a top broker to return to you with a call to begin discussing the next steps in your selling or buying process. NewEnglandProsperity.org brokers make it easy to buy and sell real estate, and they make it easy for you to pay for your closing costs because they pitch in with a piece of their commission and they make charitable contributions. For all of the information, just go to NewEnglandProsperity.org. We are changing the way America buys and sells real estate.
Okay, we're back. It's Jim Lowenstern. I'm with 4 guests today, and one of them's Mary Beth Boisvert from Coldwell Banker in Shrewsbury. And Mary Beth, the interesting thing about your career in the business is you've sort of moved out on Route 9 as you've spent more time. Do you see yourself eventually being in California?
Sturbridge. Yeah, I don't know if Route 9 goes much past Sturbridge. That's really the end.
Well, you're moving west.
Right. I've been following Route 9 west is the message here.
Okay. So you're in Shrewsbury. You live in Shrewsbury?
I do.
You want to sort of give a shout out to Shrewsbury? Why is Shrewsbury the place that you picked? You were in Wellesley, and then you were in where else? Hopkinton.
Yep. So I went from Wellesley to Hopkinton to Shrewsbury. I've been in Shrewsbury over 20 years, raised my family in the town. And what I'd like to say about our town and our region in general is the affordability index. We've got great schools. Our MCAS scores are high. We are surrounded by colleges. Worcester, as you know, has over 8 colleges. But in particular, the region, as it relates to affordability, the other wonderful aspect to the town that I sell in, Shrewsbury, is our is very low. So if you compare our homes around compared to other towns that surround us, there's just a lot of value there. So you get great schools, you have great community spirit, very affordable, good housing stock, just a really nice place to live.
So besides Shrewsbury, what are the other notable towns that you're selling in?
Sure. Well, Westboro is one of my favorites. Great town. Northboro is another great town. Shrewsbury, Grafton. And every now and then I will take a plunge over the bridge into Worcester, which I think is untapped. I think it's a sort of an undervalued area with lots of great resources. and there's a real affordability there. In fact, I have a number of investors who feel that multifamilies are extremely undervalued. So just a lot of opportunity in our area.
Okay, good. Craig, Tanny, want to talk about what's going on in the markets these days with rates and qualifying? Can people actually get the rates that they're seeing?
Yeah, thanks, Jim. Craig Tanny with Mortgage Equity Partners, and the rates are clearly at the lowest levels we've seen in our lifetime, 60-year lows. They're, the misnomer is that they've come up with all new guidelines. The guidelines are the same as when I started this business 20 years ago. It's just that they're enforcing every single rule that they've ever had. So, the standard guidelines where you have to be employed in your job for 2 years, you have to have acceptable credit, and you need some type of down payment to buy a home are all real realities in today's financing environment for homes. Whether you're purchasing or refinancing a home today, a fixed-rate loans, a 30-year fixed is in the high threes, and a 15-year fixed is in the low threes. Now, I'm probably one of the only people that really gets excited about this, having lent money all these years. I've never seen rates this low. So it's a huge opportunity for people to buy homes at really affordable rates. These low payments on these mortgages stay with you for the entire life of your home. And it seems that it is creating some activity out there. I work predominantly in Brookline, Newton, Needham, Weston, Wellesley areas, and we see relatively low inventory, I would say, for this time of year.
But if Stacy and Mary Beth brought you a buyer, you'd certainly help them out, right?
Yeah, so I work with a lot of Stacy's and Mary Beth's, and what we do is we first and foremost pre-approve a customer so they have the ability to go in, know they're going to get financing without a problem. So we can cover up front the entire qualification process. We'll pull credit. We'll run their loan. We know if it can go to Fannie, Freddie, or one of our jumbo investors. We can cover all these guidelines up front. We can make sure that the financing piece of this transaction is not going to be a problem. What we cannot account for up front is the property. There can and has been appraisal issues, especially this time of year because your comps are only going back 3 or 6 months. 3 or 6 months back from March puts you in December or late in the year. And, a lot of times the winter sales are more of a depressed type of sale. It's not the top dollar in real estate. So you going into an active spring market, you can have appraisal issues this time of year. These are just realities that we face on a regular basis. So part of my job is working with attorneys like Robert to pre-approve their customers and to send in business for conveyancing. We work with real estate agents to help facilitate real estate transactions. And we work with homeowners that we've developed as clients throughout the years to save them money on their mortgages when the rates come down to these low levels.
Okay. Should we mention that we're probably going to get no-doc loans pretty soon?
Yeah, well, there's been a few lenders out there that have never stopped lending on no-income verification loans. Now, it is few and far between, and no one wants to hear about an 8.5% rate with 2 points. So the money that's available for those type of programs is not as attractive as it used to be. So I'm not going to predict that product's going to come back anytime soon, but I will predict that it's going to come back in some fashion while I'm still here in this business over the next 10 years. There's a big pent-up demand for loans that can be originated without income, and there is a lot of metrics. Obviously we just came through a huge mortgage bust, and it had a lot to do with the lending side of things. But in my opinion, there are ways to qualify borrowers without their income taxes that still make sense. Strong credit, good income.
Okay, well, we had a great show today. I want to thank all my guests, Robert DeMarco. I want to thank Craig Tanny, Stacy Kapolka, and Mary Beth Boisvert. And I'm Jim Lowenstern. I want you to also go back and listen to the old shows. If you want to listen to Robert on the second show, that's on jimlowenstern.com. We're here every Sunday afternoon, 4 to 5. It's revolutionboston.com, jimlowenstern.com. This is WWZN, 1510 AM in Boston. And may you find all your dreams right at home. Thank you. See you next week. When buying or selling a home, always be sure to use a local realtor who has the knowledge and experience to help you get the most from this market. Properly pricing your home is vitally important. Realtors value properties every day. They understand how best to show a home and can help enhance the saleability and sale price of your home. This message is brought to you by the over 19,000 Realtor members in Massachusetts. Contact a local realtor today, and good luck in the search for your perfect home.
When you are searching for a new home, you want to be working with a realtor with years of experience, a professional with intimate knowledge of the communities that you are considering moving to, and someone who really wants to represent you as a buyer in what is probably the largest investment you'll ever make in your lifetime. Please visit us at castlesunlimited.com or call us anytime at 800-967-3561. Start your search anytime 24/7 at castlesunlimited.com, and a Castles Unlimited Realtor will get back to you just as fast as possible. Castles Unlimited Realtors, expert advice and quick, informative information on all the listings, not only your local market, but information on properties for sale or rent anywhere in the world. Your Castles Unlimited Realtor is always there to help you with your next move, your next purchase, your next home, or commercial property sale. CastlesUnlimited.com and 800-967-3561. Find your way home with your favorite Castles Unlimited Realtor.
Craig Taney is a full-service mortgage broker lender serving Greater Boston for the last 20 years. In 2009, Craig and his partners started Mortgage Equity Partners. MEP is a boutique home loan origination company that seeks out the most aggressive lenders for home mortgages and can offer the most competitive rates available in the market today. Call Craig directly for a personal consultation at 781-309-1805. Mortgage loan origination number 142580 and NMLS 1936.
You look and you look through neighborhood after neighborhood. You go up and down streets, into cul-de-sacs, and around every bend. Then one day you slowly pull up and finally see it. Your house. At Wells Fargo, we're with you when you're ready to find the house. In fact, we're with you in every stage of home ownership, from planning to purchasing to well after you own your home. Our free preferred payment plan service is a great example. You can automatically tie your payment schedule to your paydays. It's convenient and completely free. The program may even help you pay off your mortgage faster. Let us help you find the mortgage that fits your needs. Talk with a Wells Fargo home mortgage consultant today. We're ready to help and answer all your mortgage questions.